Well guys, today we're going to be spending some time in the paint booth because we are going to paint more of Drift Truck V2. Notice I didn't say all, more. At the very beginning we went ahead and removed the bed, and that's because in this video we are going to be focusing on painting the cab. That way we can paint the cab, put the front end together, and it's a running and driving truck. The bed requires a lot of body work because of the custom wide body. The cab requires very little body work. We pretty much have to scuff the entire thing, tape off what we don't want to paint, remove some of the trim and the molding on the doors and whatnot, do a little bit of body work over there where there are some dents, and then primer it, seal it, base coat it, clear coat it. Should be pretty easy. But then the exciting part is that once it's all dry, we're gonna put the front end together, get the truck outside, and be able to see the paint in its glory. It won't have a bed on it, but it kind of looks cool that way anyway, so yeah. Now real quick, in celebration of the Drift Truck nearing completion, we've got some new merchandise. This is the EM Industries Drift Truck tee. Big purple Drift Truck design on the back and a purple EM Industries logo up here in the front. Ooh, look at that reflection though. This is a comfort colors tee, so it's a really high quality t-shirt. It's not a cheap t-shirt that's gonna stretch and just be destroyed after a couple of washes. If you guys are interested, you can get this t-shirt and a bunch of other merch on emindustries.com. I'll have a link in the cards and in the description. Thank you for all the support. Also, you can get a free Patreon membership with this t-shirt. Pretty much, if you go over, become a patron, say become a $5 patron, you'll get a $5 coupon for this shirt. So it's essentially free, right? Got this EM Industries hoodie too here. Pretty cozy. 'Tis the season, right? All right, let's get back to the video. Man, I'm not gonna lie guys, I've been putting this off. I don't want to paint. I don't like painting. It's so time consuming and it's not fun. I like fabricating, and there's so much fabrication to do on the Tundra that that's all I wanna do. But this car's blown up, and so I don't have anything else to drive, and so I kinda have to get the Drift Truck just driving so I can work on the Tundra more. Car guy problems, right? You gotta finish one project so you can actually work on the other. But the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is disassemble this thing. I'm gonna take the mirrors off, gonna take this trim off. I unfortunately don't think I can remove this because the cage is blocking it, but we're gonna try to remove that and remove the door handles, the locks, all that. We're literally just painting, you know, this, the top, around the back. We're not gonna remove the window because that's a pain. We're not gonna paint this back because that's a pain. Thankfully, door jambs are already painted black, so we're just gonna leave it like that. This is a Drift Truck, ain't a show truck, Drift Truck. Interesting. This shit was so cooked anyway. So, I feel a little bad about breaking it, but I don't honestly know how you're supposed to get it off without breaking it. So I got the doors disassembled, the rubber window trim taped off, the edge of the windshield taped off, and then some plastic down to hopefully control the dust a little bit. Now we can go ahead and start sanding. We're just gonna hit everything with the orbital sander, 180 grit, then 320, and then we'll start probably doing our body work. A little bit of it that we have to do. So we got the first pass of sanding done. That was just 180 grit over the entire truck. What we're gonna go and do now is fix the dents and the holes. So there's one big one here, you know, not gonna be perfect. And then there's a few on the roof. So we're just gonna go ahead and put some body filler on that. Then while the body filler dries, we'll come in here with a Scotch-Brite pad and get all the small spots that I couldn't get with the orbital sander. Well, after that clip, I spread the Bondo and put it on the truck, but the camera, for some reason, deleted like 10 minutes worth of footage. We got the Bondo on the truck. First layer done. Looking pretty good. Most of these spots just require a little bit more Bondo. This one's probably gonna require more than another layer, but that was definitely the biggest dent on this truck. All the other ones will just need one more skim layer, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some more Bondo on. This one's pretty rough too. That one might need 2 layers. To me, this is why bodywork sucks so much. It's just so repetitive. It does require skill, but it requires patience more than skill, and that I don't have. It's just so mind-numbing work. And it's loud and dusty and dirty and bleh. So you clean it again. Always looks worse when it's clean. Oh man. Then you apply some more Bondo. Simple as that. Yep, didn't record it. Didn't. Fuck. So I sanded and applied another layer of Bondo and sanded again, and it's turning out really good. All of the actual Bondo is done. It was definitely still time consuming, but it was much nicer than trying to shape a weird complex curve like we had to do on the front wide body, which makes me a little excited for the rear wide body because it's more flat. But the last thing we want to do before primering it is go ahead and do some pinhole filler. Just a very nice like little glaze to go over all the Bondo, covers any little bubbles or pinholes in the Bondo and scratches from like sandpaper, and that'll get it ready for primer. But real quick guys, I want to take a quick break from bodywork to actually thank this video's sponsor. Brunt. Now Brunt is the brand that is transforming workwear. Now, I got my first pair of Brunt work boots, I think like 2 years ago as a gift, and I've worn these bad boys every day here at the shop since. But then Brunt reached out to work together, and I was ecstatic because I got myself a new pair. Now I've already kind of broken these in. They're already looking kind of dirty, but I think a boot looks better when it's dirty. But I'll overlay some of the footage I got when it was brand new out of the box. Both of these right here are the Marin. I've got the soft toe over here, so there's no sort of protection for your toes. And then I've got the composite toe over here, which I actually have come to like more because it's just as comfortable and not gonna run my foot over and break it. But there's a bunch of other stuff that make the Brunt work boots so great. The most important thing is their comfort. These are by far the most comfortable work boots I've ever worn. They're designed to not have a lengthy, painful break-in process. Like I said, these are pretty much brand new. Ow. And they're very comfortable already. They've got good cushion, support, breathability, and they have Brunt's signature cushion footbed. It's pretty much a modular system that allows you to tailor the tightness and cushionness of your boot, which actually brings me into the next point, the durability. 2 years, every day, and these things look pretty dang good. They're a bit dirty, a little scuffed up here and there, but the soles are still in amazing condition. The leather is still totally good. That's mostly because these guys are made out of barnyard resistant leather, and the outsoles are slip, oil, and heat resistant up to 570 degrees. Now obviously it is the holiday season. Gotta tell you, these things make a great gift, either for yourself or someone you know who works a lot, who could use a pair of really nice boots. And in fact, Brunt is so confident that you'll love their boots that they'll let you try them on the job. If you don't love them, you can send them back. So if you guys are interested, you can get $10 off your first purchase today by going to bruntworkwear.com/Gingium10. That's bruntworkwear.com/Gingium10 and use code Gingium10. I'll have a link in the description and up in the cards above. Huge thank you to Brunt, and let's get back to working on the drift truck. Should dry so fast. All right, all of the body work is officially done. It's looking good. Very happy with the way it's turning out. But now we have to get the paint booth ready to spray primer. Obviously, I never really intended to do body work in here, but since we have customer cars and other parts of the shop, I didn't want to get dust all over them, so we did all the body work in here, and now it's really dusty in here. So we're gonna open these doors, blow off the truck, blow off the ground and everything, all the shelves and stuff, try to get the dust out of here, sweep, then we'll roll the truck back in, clean it, tape it off, and primer it. Well, truck is all cleaned, ready to go. Did 2 layers of the H2O cleaner and then 1 layer of the wax and grease remover. I did it properly where I applied it to the towel, wiped it in one direction. Hopefully we don't have any fish eyes. We're gonna paint through them anyway if we do. We got our sealer all ready to go. Got our gun cleaned, ready to go. As you can tell, not doing filler primer because I decided I don't want to have to sand, retape, and then re-clean the paint booth. That's like another 2 days of work, maybe a full day of work. Nah, it's gonna be good enough. Drift truck, just want it running, driving, and looking decent. Gotta throw this thing on. Doesn't have a hood. Oh no, that's unfortunate for Mr. Bald here. Oh well, the show must go on. Oh, it's got a collar, nice. Why the hell do I need a collar? I don't need a collar, I need a hood. I don't care what I look. Stupid. Let's not get overspray on this car. I was going to wet the floors, but I'm scared of the hose dragging on the ground, getting wet, and then me getting water on the roof when I go to paint the roof, because I'm gonna be leaning over it. So I'm just not gonna do that. I'd rather have dust in it, which is, you know, you can usually wet sand that out, than water, which just kind of totally fucks the paint. So that's my thought process there. Take one of our little filters. That is the primer sealer all done. It started a little rough because I just had the fan setting on way too high, so it was really laying on the the primer. Oh god, oh god. So I'm gonna let this dry a little extra time and try to wet sand some of these runs. They're not that bad, but I would like to try to fix some of them at least. This one over here is pretty bad. So yeah, we're gonna try to fix that. Once I figured out the like the fan and the gun settings, it went a little bit better. So. The runs are gone. I taped up the thing that we want to keep black. We're ready to go ahead and paint the base coat. I'm a little worried about this roof. I had to dust it because some of the dust had settled on it, and so I cleaned it. And you can see the streaks from where I cleaned it, and then also a lot of the lint from the paper got stuck in it. And I went over with a tack cloth, but I just couldn't get it all out. Like, there's a bunch of little tiny pieces of lint in there, so I'm just gonna paint over it. I don't know what else to do, so.
Let's go! Turned out good. Alright, we got the clear all loaded up. Time to finish this. Let's go!
Well, the truck is officially purple, and I think it turned out pretty good. Grab this light here. The doors look fantastic. Pretty little orange peel and very even and not a whole lot of dust. Look at that color. I can't wait to see this out in the sun. The roof, a bit of a different story. You can see how much junk is in there. Man, just having a big flat surface for stuff to land on. In this place, you're never gonna not get that. But I think we could technically fix this with a wet sand. So there's that. We're gonna let this dry overnight before touching anything. While we do that, we're gonna go ahead and work on some of the front body panels. We got the front fender over here. We got our vents. Went ahead and picked up some honeycomb grill plastic stuff from Amazon. We're gonna go cut this to shape and put it in those vents there. Finish it off a bit. I think we're gonna do it vertically because I was kind of looking over here at these vents, and when it's vertical, you have a bunch of different squares and it kind of looks more natural. With how skinny they are, if you do it horizontally, it's just like one line down the middle, so I don't think that looks right. So we're gonna do it vertically. Well, it's looking pretty good. It's funny, in this room, you can't even really tell it's not black. I mean, you kind of can, but not really. We are going to have to wrap the inside of this door because the The actual door color is visible. The other side is black. So we'll just wrap this black. I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble the front, put the fenders on, the bumper, etc., etc. Get this thing looking finished. Definitely darker, but like this is the angle right here. But yeah, when you're direct on, it does still look black. But man, I'm happy with it. Maybe it's a little darker than I wanted. It looks so funny with like the front wide body on, but then nothing on the rear. It's so wide in the front and so skinny in the back.
Like a Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it does look like a Hot Wheels. This all turned out pretty good. But yeah, I mean, like certain angles you catch the purple. Oh yeah, ceiling does not look that bad when it's all already dusty. I do love how wide the front is. The front looks proper drift car.
The rear will too.
It will, yeah. Honestly, in the paint booth, it just looks black, which is kind of crazy because outside in the sun, you can definitely tell it's purple. You can tell it's purple in some shots too. Hood looks pretty good, actually. I do think a wet sand would go a really long way on this paint job. I think it would fix 90% of the issues. So I do think that's in the books, but not right now. We also still have to reassemble like the door handles and whatnot, but obviously the main important part is doing the bed. So in the next video with the drift truck, that is what we are going to be doing. Remember guys, drift truck tee, get yours, eministries.com. Appreciate all the support. We're racing to get this thing, I mean, pretty much 100% finished for Fall Double Down, which is the big drift event that we go to every year. This is the last one they're doing. I don't know if went out of business is the right term, but they're not doing them anymore after this year. So it's gonna be a last hurrah. And so we really want the truck to be finished for that. And so here we are. Now in the next video, I do think we're gonna be working on the camper shell a little bit more. That video didn't perform very well, but I don't care. I'm passionate about it. So that's why we're gonna work on that. And then after we do some more work on that, we're getting back to the rear bed, which is gonna be a lot of work, but it'll be the last work, which is really exciting. So yeah, that's that. Thank you for watching. I do apologize for it being a little bit of a shorter video, but sometimes that's nice, right? And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.